Wisconsin Wine Guy. I am back, and I did 2 wine reviews previously. I like to call it the orange labels. You know, you easily make the mistake if you walk into a store and you're not paying attention to what the name on the label is. We just go and buy the color, and you pick up a wine, you get home, and you discover, oh my God, I picked the wrong wine. Right? Okay. If that happened to you, it happened to me quite a few times. It happened to me here recently. So I wanted to do a blind tasting. I reviewed these wines already, so I want to do a blind tasting of these 2 wines and then try to determine which I actually like better, one over the other. The orange labels. And when I unveil them, you'll know what I mean when I say the orange labels and how you can easily make that mistake. So, here we go. I'm going to pour. So, the one with the blue sticky is going to be wine number 1. Okay? So, keep me in line with that one. Wine number 1 with the blue sticky. All right? And wine number 2 has no sticky. That should be easy enough, right? So now, I know what the wines were when I reviewed them. You know, I mixed them up. I put them inside of a baggie. I mixed them up, you know, and just left them in the baggie, you know, for a few days so I could forget which was which. And then I mixed them up again before I started doing this here. So, now, color-wise. Interesting. Let me get my white napkin here. Interesting. Color-wise, wine number 1 right here is a little bit darker versus wine number 2, non-label. I mean, when you look at the wines, look towards the bowl or the deeper part of the wine inside the glass. Wine number 1 is a little bit, just slightly, not by much. You could probably, here's wine number 1, here's wine number 2. Okay, you can almost see it here in this case, as wine number 1 is slightly a little bit darker than wine number 2. So that's interesting. So that tells us that, you know, one wine has fruit that a little bit more color extraction maybe. Now, nose-wise, nose-wise, wine number 1's nose is more soft fruit and citrusy versus here you get such dark fruit. You get more like dried fruit and little bit of caramelization, you know, from barrel time. Wow, what a difference on the nose when you smell them side by side. So here you pick up that toastiness in the caramelization, you know, from the char of the barrel here, you know, right there. You know, boom, blended with the fruit. Here, it's more fruit, the little citrus notes, and then you get the subtle hint of toastiness way deep in the background. Oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Now, for taste. I think it would taste this one first because of what I spilled on that one. There's a little bit more happening here in this one, so I'm going to taste that one second. Let's go first here at Ritz. Okay, definitely lighter on the palate. Definitely get those citrus notes and fruit notes here. Okay, now going to the next one. Wow. Coming after this one, let's go back. I gotta go back. Let's be fair. So, taking this one first and taking this one, then going back and giving this one another try. The flavor notes here kills the flavor notes on the first wine. Okay, so there's a lot more flavor going on here. In fact, tasting wine number 2 second to wine number 1, you get a little bit more of fruitiness to it. So number 1 is definitely drier. So you pick up more ripe fruitiness here. But that oak finish is dominant there. In fact, it's a little more like sweet oak. And that's used as a description, sweet oak. Okay? Not saying it's a sweet wine, but it does taste a little bit more riper coming after number one. A little more fruitier coming after number one. Going back here is going to take a couple of sips. Now, in a couple of sips, this comes back into its own. Here's the most interesting thing. They are both completely unique in their style. Now, because I know what the wines were when I did the review, but I mixed them up, put the same color top on them, so I can't really distinguish, right? They're both unique in their own style. But if I had to select a wine that I would just go to just to drink every day, and a wine I would go to maybe try with different foods. We're gonna do it on that basis. So, what wine would I just grab as an everyday drinker? Let's go one. See, it comes into its own when it's by itself. Dry. And they're both dry. But if I had to pick a wine on its own for just a simple everyday drinker, it's going to be this one. Wine number 2. And you'll find out what that is shortly. Wine number 2, just a simple everyday drinker. You know, it has some soda complexities to it. I think it'd still be great with food. But as far as this is everyday simple drinking wine, cost-effective everyday drinking, it'll be that one. One that I would pick out, throw it to my crowd, so I have to drink a lot of my good stuff, all right, or my good Pinot Noirs. That'd be a good everyday drinker. For a wine that I think would be good to have with food and explore what the enhancements that can happen with this wine and with the food, that would be wine number 1. Okay? So, put it in a simple sense, my go-to wine would be wine number 2 over wine number 1. It's for everyday drinker. So let's see what they are. Since I selected this one, okay, that's to be my good everyday drinking Pinot Noir. They're both Pinot Noirs. I don't know if I said that. It'll be the Mark West. So obviously, this one is going to be the Wrath, right? The Wrath. So, just when you put it in a blind tasting, you should try this with your friends. And, you know, battle of the orange labels. Try it with your friends. See which Pinot Noir they would prefer as a good everyday drinking go-to Pinot Noir. No frills, no thrills. This definitely has the mouthfeel and it tickles the brain that says, wow, I can drink this every day. So, Mark West Pinot Noir, outshines the Wrath for everyday drinking Pinot Noir 2022 versus 2021. There you have it. Try this yourself. Let me know what you think. Try it with some friends and still let me know what you think. It's your Wisconsin Wine Guy trying to end this 2023 season with a bang. See you next time. Ciao.